Welcome back to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda, giving you all the latest updates on anything and all things Ravens. Thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. Really do appreciate it. All the new subscribers, thank you for subscribing, tuning in. I love all the comments that I've been getting. Everyone has been agreeing with me that we need to boot 77 out. Maybe someone can go to a petition online and we'll just get everyone in Baltimore to sign off on it. I mean, even then, I don't think Harbaugh's ever going to change his mind. But, we all have a mutual. I'm not going to say hatred. It's a terrible word to describe it. A mutual. We all mutually agree that offensive line needs to be changed, but it's going to fall on dead ears anyway. So we're just rolling with it at this point. But we're still going to cover it regardless. But here, let's dive into the latest. Okay, so injury report came out. Only person that returned to practice from the injury report last week was Marlon Humphrey. Lamar Jackson is a new designation on the because he did not show up to practice yesterday either. He apparently was designated with an ankle injury. We're going to dive into that in a little bit. But everyone else except Marlon Humphrey still out. Rashad Bateman was out. Kyle Hamilton wasn't in, but I'm pretty sure he'll show up at some point during the week. Same with Lamar, but we'll, again, diving in more of that later. Kyle Hamilton looked like I'm going to say nicked his arm during the Browns game, but he fought through it and still played. So I think that it's just an extra precautionary day for him. Harbaugh did mention that Emory Jones Jr. has made very good progress in practice, and he's excited to see him make some reps, which is probably not going to happen. But pretty much we're going up against a team in rebuild, so I just rather keep any players that are still recovering from injuries. Just have them go to practice, but don't have them play. That's what I care about more than anything. Okay, when the player's health, and I mentioned it many times. There's a difference between player and person. Let's go with the people's health. The people there, we want them to be healthy and 100%. I've made my piece on players, especially one particular one. But anyway, I called it though. Didn't I call it that Lamar looked off after the first quarter? Like he was gritting his teeth and he was fighting to stay in, and he was very hesitant to throw the ball. Like I called it. Like he was not healthy. He had the hamstring injury that he was sidelined for. Then the knee soreness for the week before the game against the Browns. Then now this. It's like something's up. Like is this like something that's been nagging at him, or is it just a couple of one-offs that have just happened to be just happened to happen? It's just weird. It's like I called it, man. It's like he just looked off, and now we get a report out that he's not practicing because of an ankle injury. It's like, dude, like if we need to, we're going up against the Jets of all teams. If we need to. I would not be upset if Lamar Jackson didn't play against the Jets. I'd rather have him be like, okay, we need to sit you down, just get you healthy. No need for you to play on Sunday. Let's bring in Snoop. Snoop had a great game when he was back up not too long ago. So let's just bring him in, and he'll take care of business. And I feel like that would be a better scenario in my books, where Lamar should not fight to obviously if he fights and he does well, then there's more cards on the table on his end for a contract extension, and I mean that it helps him out a lot. But again, we're trying to go for at the end of the day, we're trying to make a deep run into the playoffs with this team, and if your quarterback's not 100% and he's still trying to play, I'd rather put him I'd just rather be like, just rest up. We'll put in Huntley. We're facing a team that we don't need you in, so just rest up. I'd be okay with that. But that's just me. Of course, I want Lamar Jackson to play. I always love it when Lamar Jackson plays. Hell, the team loves it when Lamar Jackson plays, because Lamar Jackson's the greatest NFL player in the NFL, quarterback otherwise. We want him to play, but at the end of the day, you shouldn't like the I get it. The competitiveness inside you wants to be able to play, but like just be like, okay, if it was against a contender team, I get that. Anyone else in the AFC North, I get that. But it's not. And besides, we're one game behind the Steelers. Huntley has proven that he can play, that he can not as good as you can, but he can still ball. So just if it comes down to it, just give it Huntley the go ahead, and Lamar Jackson could rest up for a week. Also, moving on here, Tyler Huntley also could probably do a little bit more in the red zone than an injured Lamar Jackson. I'm just saying, because Linderbaum commented on the red zone struggles, saying that whatever the struggles come from the offensive line. We saw that a lot in the game against the Browns. Lamar Jackson couldn't get into the end zone. Derrick Henry had trouble getting into the end zone, especially in that first half. Linderbaum hit it right on the money. It starts with the offensive line, and we've got to be better. Now, he is looking at one person in particular that's got to be better, and we all know who that is. So whether it's a sly call out or a dig, I'm all for it because it's like, dude, even Linderbaum's getting tired of covering for you. It's time to just pull the plug on you, and hopefully we all know who I'm talking about here. Just we're time to pull the plug. It's been time to pull the plug, and hopefully you never step foot in the Ravens facility ever again. But it's not going to happen. But the Linderbaum, in a much broader concept, hit it on the money that the fact that the offensive line needs to be better at punching in a touchdown in the red zone. And you're at the 1 yard line, you can't punch it in with Derrick Henry. Yes, it happened against the Browns, but it's still in the first half, we were struggling. It was brutal. It was there's nothing else to say about it. Again, we always struggle against the Browns at home for some unknown reason when the Browns are the home team. And Myles Garrett went off in that game again, 100%. Linderbaum's right. It starts with the offensive line. They've got to be better. And they need to really sit down and just say, listen, what's going on? Not pointing fingers, but we know what's going on. But in a team environment, we got to build this wall and make sure we get touchdowns. Because field goals ain't going to win games. It's not, especially against contender teams. I mean, sure, they can win games, in the sense of our defense just absolutely goes off and just prevents any scores from happening, which is the defense is done pretty well in, but especially after the bye week. But it's still we got to score touchdowns to make the defense's lives a little bit easier and make them not. I don't want to say that this in this sense, but hear me out. Not work as hard to make sure that the team gets a stop. We just hold the line. That's all we got to do for the defense in terms of their mindset. Moving on to the last answering comments. Someone had mentioned in a comment on my last video saying that, they just realized that Tyrod Taylor is now the starting QB for the Jets, and Justin Fields is the backup. Justin Fields, in this comment, said that there could be an excellent backup behind Lamar Jackson. I 100% agree. I think that Justin Fields could be a great backup behind Lamar Jackson, but I don't think Justin Fields is a good quarterback. I think we're better off with Huntley. I'm just saying. But in terms of backup worthiness, Justin Fields fits our scheme perfectly. Scrambler quarterback, can run same as Lamar. It brings up the idea that the Steelers used him when Russell Wilson was under center, and they used Justin Fields for those quick 3rd and 1 situations. Lamar can still do that, obviously. I'm just saying we just switch it up a little bit to see, how we can keep the opposing defenses guessing. But I like that. It's. I mean, of course, I don't think it's happening, and I don't know if we're not going to keep Huntley, because I think Huntley's a reliable backup, more so than Cooper Rush. If we're gonna switch quarterbacks, let's go give Cooper Rush to the Jets, and he can go get Justin Fields. I mean, obviously trade deadline's over, but it's still, I would rather have I agree with that in the sense that if we were gonna look for a backup, I'd look for Justin Fields if we can't keep Tyler Huntley. I'm just saying. Also, more comments said about. Yeah, I agree that everyone has been saying the same thing. 77's got to go. 77 is just he needs to go. It's just if the outcry is loud enough, I'm pretty sure Harbaugh is hearing it every single darn day. But it's just gonna fall on deaf ears, people. It just is. We're not going to see any changes in the offensive line unless there's an injury. And I said controversially, that's the only way that it happens if the offensive line uh, is to see any changes. It has to be an injury. I don't want it to happen to a person. Nobody wants it to happen to a person. We don't want them to go through that. This is their job. It's like this is what they do for a living. Mind you, I would love to be an NFL player. I put my heart and soul on the line. Heck, I'd be a backup. I'd be the Alex Moran of Blue Mountain State, where I'm the backup, but still getting paid. You know, it's the only way that it happens. Thank you for tuning into Ravens today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Again, thank you guys so much for tuning into the show. Really do appreciate it. Have a good one.